Good evening, and welcome to a semi-belated Forgotten North podcast. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening, mate.
We definitely didn't have some serious IT problems before we started recording there. That definitely didn't happen.
It's frightening that you're the tech support.
It's terrifying, isn't it? It's we've got a serious problem.
Just turn it off and on; it'll be fine.
Well, give or take worked, didn't it? Give or take worked.
Hit it with a hammer.
I know. So this is almost a week later than we wanted to record this, just with some various issues at the start of the week, and then Andy daring to have some holiday. The very nerve, frankly.
When I went to Wales, so you know.
Prioritising family time over recording some Warhammer chat. Like I don't.
Did you go down to preach about using bins and keeping your town tidy?
And about trying to put English first, not some weird language first on site. What is going on?
Well, with that in mind, we'll just skirt around all that nonsense. So what? Now, nearly just about a week ago, we attended Toy Soldier, the Resurrection GT, down in Stockport or across in Stockport, depending which way you look at it.
Down and across.
Down and across. First event they've held for a good number of years.
And your first trip to Element Games, which I'm still amazed at now.
Bizarre, yes, indeed, yes. Bizarrely, my first ever trip to Element Games.
You didn't buy anything in the shop, did you?
I mean, I didn't, but I'm not going to lie. It was mainly because I was a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of choice they had. I nearly bought paintbrushes that were clearly far too good for me.
Stan almost bought out because it was cheap.
Stan bought some stuff. Stan was relieved of some of his moolah cash for some stuff. But for anyone who hasn't been to Element Games, like someone like I was, the shop is incredible.
It's a fantastic store.
It's just amazing. The range is incredible.
You know what else had an amazing range?
Does it begin with a B?
The bar. Hats off to the guy who was working on the bar on the Friday night, who, when we went down there to have a look at the venue, took some serious time out to just pretty much get out every can and bottle of beer that they sold.
It's got to have been a good 20 minutes. He was there just going through beers.
It was amazing. For a gaming venue, the beer range is phenomenal.
They must have had 15 different beers on.
Oh, it's fantastic! Like such a good range of nothing on tap, which I mean I don't blame for. They had soft drinks on tap. But the canned and bottled beer selection was excellent, like really, really good. So yeah, shop was amazing. Venue was really big, actually, to be fair, inside, wasn't it? So I mean, we were there and we were taking part in, was it 38 man at the end? By the time we've had a few drops and whatnot.
Yeah, 38.
I still think 38 is a cracking number, especially when you consider there was also a huge 30k event on as well, with about at least the same number of players, if not more.
It's got to be at least 46, 48 players, and there's a lot of tables.
So the venue clearly fits like comfortably over 100 people in it. I say comfortably. The only caveat I would say to that is that it was, once again, because we travelled south, although it's not that far south, admittedly, it was stiflingly warm again as we toured the country to play Warhammer.
Yeah, Element's never been known to be a cool venue. Though it's always been a hot venue.
They did what they could second day by opening the fire exits and stuff like that and letting some air in, but Jesus, it was so hot.
Game 2 was very
stand and get the pleasure of playing on table 3, where we both did next to the
fan. Table 3 was chef's kiss. Like there was a fan, it was a delight. It was 3, and then was the other one about table 10, where the other fan was. That was but like amazing, like cracking venue, great shop, and kind of like before we get into the detail of how it went, I would definitely open up by saying like a really, really well run event by David.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I know obviously Mark, David, and I believe Kevin were the guys behind the scenes organising it, building into it. But Mark was taking part in the event, and it was pretty much ran the whole weekend by David. And it was really smooth, and I thought he did a cracking job in a good balance of like engaging, giving people the information they needed, and just and sort of like facilitating a good event.
Yeah, he was there when you needed him. He wasn't just like always there.
And I would say the crowd of people that were there as well, top draw.
Oh, aye. I thought the whole event was pretty much played with, like, just in the right way. Like it was.
Yeah, there's hardly any issues or complaints or moans.
Good banter, like, and they had a query. Like, you could see people asking around for sort of a bit consensus. Very rarely did I have to see someone raise an actual TO like ruling. A couple of queries, which you're always going to get in a GT, but I thought the good shout, Stan. I thought the actual crowd of people that were there was a really fun event. Like, I had an absolute blast with my 5 opponents. I know after chatting, like you guys both did too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So yeah, like if anyone is looking to attend events, I would definitely recommend Element Games in the Northwest, and I would definitely recommend the forthcoming the other Toy Soldier events that they've already got in the diary for 2026.
Is that
February?
Sorry?
February or March?
March.
20th of February into the 1st of March. So I can't attend it because it's my year end at work. And then I can't remember the date of the other one, but I'm fairly sure I will be trying to make it because, like, great venue, great event.
I think the one in September is the week after the bank holiday.
Perfect.
So it'll be like this weekend in a year.
Yeah. Ah, perfect. That'll be good. So we'll get it in the diary because 2026 is filling up. There's a lot of events starting
rapidly,
2026, isn't there? So anyway, like I said, great venue, great weekend. Don't want to dwell on anything that's not really the gaming, but what a horrendous journey we had down to it. The journey that should have taken 2.5 hours approximately.
To be fair, out of the three of us, none of us realised it was Reading Festival and also Creamfields, which really didn't help
Leeds
the road.
Festival. Start of the bank holiday. I mean, I think it was a recipe for disaster, the drive down, because the drive back home on the Sunday night was a delight.
Well, to make you feel better, I drove to almost Wrexham on Tuesday, and I got there in just over 3 hours. At that point, we hadn't got past Manchester.
That doesn't make me feel any better about our journey.
But I tell you what will make you feel better, that on the way there was a tailback that we clocked. There was at least 15 miles going the other way.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was just like, this is never ending. I'm so like, I'm not going back this way.
Wow.
No.
So, we went through our preview video before the event and talked about our lists. Not to do a spoiler or anything, but by now I think people probably know the outcome of it. But if you do want a really in-depth breakdown of how it was won, I would definitely recommend Pasha's video on Pashhammer. But that all said, we went into game 1 and we were playing close quarters with strategic objectives 2.
Yes.
So, how did that go for you, gentlemen? Who were you playing? What were you playing again? Remind us, and how did the games go?
Do you want to start, Stan?
I might as well start, and then we can get better. I was playing Sam's VC, Sam Tool, the nice tool.
The nice tool.
And great game, good laugh. From a preview show, I needed all my magic missiles to go off. In the first 3 turns, I cast 8, failed to cast 1.
And how many of those are dispelled, Stan?
7.
I bet Stan it with a smile because he's a nice toll.
So you cast 7. You cast 8 magic missiles, and he stopped 7 of them.
Yeah, it's not what I needed, and then he did VC shit on us.
Did he bully you remorselessly?
Yeah, it was horrendous.
To show him where it hurt him.
Yeah, it was a 6-0. Sam's dice were just really, really good. Mine were bang average.
Yeah.
Did Sam get the dice out of the toilets? Just checking.
No, he didn't need to. He didn't need to use the toilet dice.
So did our sort of TR variants from Lizardman being at the very bottom to VC pretty much at the very top come to fruition, did it?
Oh yeah, totally. It was the standard thing with VCs. I couldn't stand off them because it would scream us away. I couldn't go in contact with him, or he'd scream us.
Because you couldn't cast any magic missiles, he just beat you up instead, yeah?
Yeah. His wizards were casting everything they needed to go off. I was getting -3, -4 on leadership tests and just melting.
I mean, you're not exactly strong leadership to start with us, I mean, either, are you?
No. It was what it was, but it was a nice game, and
you knew it was going to be a tough game.
6-0. Did it finish 6-0?
6-0, yeah.
No.
I think he tabled us by turn 5.
Ouch.
Yeah, it hurt.
It did bad things to you. Tools, man. It was mean people.
No, like I say, he had the dice and I didn't.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what happens. Well, you needed everything to go in your way to get a result.
Yeah,
man.
And Sam to play a bit loose.
And Sam's a good player. He's not going to. He's rarely going to give you a game where he doesn't play well.
Yeah, he didn't give us anything, and he pushed the advantage when he had it.
That's fair dues.
He doesn't even give you good games on day 2 when he's been hammered because he's young enough to not be that affected by it either.
It's upsetting how fresh he looks on a second day of an event, to be honest.
It's quite worrying, isn't it? I don't know what he does.
No. Well, just be young, Andy. That's what he does. He's just young.
Well, the scary thing is we know what he does, and it gives me a hangover just hearing about it.
We're just tired. Old tired men. How did your first game go, Andy? What were you against? Up against
Ollie's Beastman. Like the Mass Magic Beastman list with the
yeah, you had Ollie game 1, didn't you?
Which we said would be a good matchup in theory.
I
lost 5-1. At the same time, I could have got a draw, but I was like, it's turn 5. I'm not going to throw my Bloodthirster into your block. If I just flew away and I got a draw, but I was like, that's not very corn. I threw the Thirster into his Doom Ball, killed a couple of dudes on impact hits. I challenged, he accepted with the Doom Ball like a man. So
that's off to Ollie.
He could have just accepted with a champion. Doom Ball did, I think, 3 wounds. Ollie passed 2 ward saves. Had he not done that, I'd have ended up winning the combat by 2, I think. But I was like, I'm not just going to fanny on and just run around.
It's not what you were there for, was it, with your team?
I turned his Herdstone off turn 2 by Steely Shadow in the Bloodletter block and going, there you go. No Herdstone for you, Ollie.
Yeah.
But I think the most point he got off me, apart from the Thirster, was because of Cromlaw's Devolve spell from his little Spirit and Leech thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, purely because
he's not great.
If Skullcart had MR1, it wouldn't have cast.
Not that you're bitter about that at all.
It's just bizarre. But yeah, I think other than that, neither of us really killed much. He couldn't hurt the big stuff. None of his magic was really going off because it was just masses and minuses. So it could have been a draw, but I threw the Thirster in, which gave him 550 points, I think, from the Thirster dying.
Thing is, the Thirster had have actually got through. It made a tip to 4-2 into your favour.
Yeah, I was like, I've got a corner list, it's a demon list. I'm not playing for the top podiums. I'll throw the Thirster in if it's a combat.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, you play the game like you wanted to play it, didn't you?
Ollie, it's going to be a good game with Ollie. I mean, I've met him loads. First time I think I've ever played Ollie, though. Despite meeting him loads.
Obviously, catching up with the pair of you afterwards, it looked like it sounded like you both had a genuinely good game.
It was very much just dance around, trying to cast spells. I think he got off, apart from one's affecting himself, offensive spells, he might have got off 2 the whole game or something, maybe 3 at a push, despite having about 8 to cast a turn or something ridiculous. But that's what the list is built to stop.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I just couldn't catch anything.
No.
And how was your game 1?
Well, I was playing the other demon list with my wonderfully semi-fluffy Royal Host list. And to be fair, I got a 6-0 win. Had a good game against Damien. His dice were genuinely awful. Mine were pretty good, like not amazing, but just like decent, which is all you need when your opponent rolls crap. I lost 350 points. I think I gave up altogether. No, sorry. I gave up 80 points altogether of kills, and then he got 350 inclusive of scenario points. So like I only lost 1 unit of something. I mean, like he charged 1 point. He charged his unit of Furies into a chariot. The chariot beat them in combat and then ran them down.
That's quite. It's what?
Yeah.
9 attacks at strength 5. That's quite bad.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't sum up bad dice, I really don't know what does. The worst bit, it not only happened once, you charged both chariots and both chariots won combat against.
Is that like your chariots there? I mean, look, last time we played, I couldn't miss the unit. Every time I tried to shoot a cannon in the chariots, I misfired.
The chariot, I mean, I'd like to say they were invincible, but that is not the case.
They're like your special protected chariots.
It's Day of the Chariot Champion.
And they went down 2 points as well.
41 points of glory. But no, like I scraped into a 6-0. Like got 50. I think the variance like 15, 14. I think so. It was a solid win just into the 6-0 scoring system, which I know we'll talk a little bit more about towards the end of the video, towards the end of the recording. But no, I know you guys had rough first starts, but game 1 and the map of the strategic locations 2 didn't really play a part until the very end when I took his unit down for the last turn and a half of not scoring, because 2's just you just sit a unit on there and keep scoring all game. I think
I had to use my unit to turn off a herdstone though.
Yeah, but I think 2 in general is better when it's combined with something else.
Yeah,
like without train or special objective or whatever.
Good to have something else on the board.
Yeah, that's just me thought on strategic location 2. Otherwise, it's fundamentally a battle line.
I don't think it works well with baggage train because that just makes it even more just company deployment zone.
Yeah, fair. I mean, fair. Obviously, in our event, we've got it on special objective in the middle.
Yeah,
too. But either way, I think it needs something more to add to it. Although I still like it. Still points and still makes something different to just clash.
Mm-hmm.
So then that took us on to game 2, which was King of the Hill.
Which is the VC Toon King Dream.
Which I think we all agreed at the start or pre-event. And to be fair, I think all the unanimous at the event, including the TOs, that they wouldn't include it as it stands in future tournaments because it is just so heavily weighted for any undead army, fundamentally.
Yeah.
I think for me as well, missions 2, I think 3 as well, both use breakpoint.
I don't like it at all.
Have to work out.
It's just an admin mess.
You can't really keep a tab like I've lost 2 men, so that's fine. I'm going to use 10 more.
We forgot all about it until one of us was broken, and it was like, I
think we'd realised on turn 5 and had to backtrack to turn 4.
Yeah,
to what the
it's not ideal. Like, I'm not a fan of breakpoint in a tournament, to be honest. I think
it's like I say, it's just more admin, something else you have to remember to do.
I think for me, if you did it like we did towards the end of 8, if you break your opponent, you get 500 VPs. They break you, they get 250. Would it be fine?
Yeah, it probably would be.
Not the game ends, and then you faff on with all that. Just saying you then get VPs. That's fine. You just work out at the end. Oh, actually, I did break.
The breakpoint was different in 8th with banners and stuff like that. Like this one's just a lot of admin because it goes on unit strength and whatnot.
Yeah. I think rather than ending the game, which I don't like, because a couple of bad guys, you can end your game turn 2 and you're sitting there for 2 hours.
I think it's just too much admin.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't.
And well,
summary: we don't like breakpoint, and we also don't like King of the Hill as a mission. So, with that in mind, who were you up against in game 2, and how did it go? We'll go back to you, Stan.
I was up against Damien and his dwarves, and this is very much another issue with breakpoint. He sat on the hill, racking up the points, and I was with a big unit of Longbeards, with his king in, with Runa Smiting, all the toys. And I was just sitting there, plinking, going, I'm not going into that until there's about 10 of them left. And I cleared everything else up. But then I came to the horrible conclusion of, if I go in and I break the unit, I win the game and it ends the game there, and he would win on points.
So actually dragging the game out was better for you.
Yeah, I had to drag the game out and, squirrel points here and there to get it to a point where I felt, right now I can win the game, which wasn't a good way to play.
Yeah.
Worrying about, I don't want to cause 6 or 7 casualties because that'll end the game. It's not how I want to play Warhammer.
No, we've lost an Andy. He's had enough. He's had enough of your crap, Stan.
I'll just close the window. It's far too noisy with the wind.
Yeah, I know, it's going crazy, isn't it? I can hear it behind me. I thought, Andy's already sick of hearing Stan's nonsense. He's just left.
It was a great game, and Damien was an absolute pleasure to play against.
Stan's filthy Lisbon stores is what it is. Filthy.
It's just filthy. What was the final score in your game 2 then? How did it finish?
It finished 5-1.
In the favour of the dwarfs, or in your favour?
No, the mighty lizard men.
God, the lizard men!
Well,
even though he had the objective?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, 1 win, 1 loss after rounds 1 and 2?
Yeah, and this was the point I had the little bit of hope that I might submarine this.
You see, not to give away how that went.
I think you had too many beers to be thinking about that stuff.
No, but by this point, I was just a ball of sweat.
It was warm. How about you,
Andy?
Oh, sorry, Stan.
How did you do, Andy?
So I played Matt's Orion list for game 2 on King of the Hill, which I couldn't have got a better matchup for King of the Hill. I can push elves off a hill.
Bless him. No disrespect to Matt. You couldn't have got a better matchup, period. Like, it's not a good list. And Wild Hunt is not a good army.
No, it was a lovely army, nicely painted. Matt's a lovely guy.
Was really nice.
I threw my bloodletters up on the hill, and I was like, there you go, you've got a few archer units and no real combat threat. So I think we played until his turn 5. I think I played his turn 5, and then realised that I'd broken on my turn 4, so I had to then go back and work out what we had killed, what was alive, what hadn't died, and then work out the points. And it was just a faff. I think Orion died. He almost killed the Bloodletters, but I think it was the Bloodletter champion left alive, and then the Bloodthirster went to the side of Orion and kind of just kicked him out of the way.
Orion's just like everyone. You want Orion to be good because it's Orion. Pretty foolish.
I mean, he's got 2 dogs that are ethereal. I've got magic attacks, so they don't do anything. Orion's only got toughness 5, 4 or 5 wounds with a 5-up ward.
Yeah.
He just dies.
And he's nearly the cost of a dragon.
Well, he's definitely dying to a Bloodthirster, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Bloodletter's got him down to 1 wound.
I mean, sure.
But there's enough of them. There's only, 4s to hit, 5s, 6s to wound, I think it is, or 5s to wound.
Yeah.
5s to wound. It goes through him.
Yeah, P4. Strength 4 on the... Yeah, 5.
Yeah. So they'll kill Orion on their own. I think it was turn 2. I think I blew through a lot of his stuff, and he threw his other lord on a stag into the Bloodthirster with the Monster Slaying Sword and got his 6. But I passed the ward, thankfully.
Oh!
It would have gone a little bit differently from that had that worked.
Monster Slayer is amazing when it's not against you.
I mean, to be fair, he got 2 turns at it. He got the first one when he got the wound. I then didn't kill him back. And then the second round of combat, I don't think he got any 6s to wound me. And that's when I then killed him. But I'd also completely forgotten that, is it the Rangers? When they attack something with fear or terror, do multi-wounds too? They almost killed the Bloodthirster as well.
Yeah, they're actually a little bit spicy in that regard.
They did 2 wounds. But yeah, luckily they didn't do enough damage to hurt. And then they got the Bloodthirster down to 1 wound. Yeah, I think the Lord did 1 wound. They did 4 wounds. Well, 2 wounds, but 4 wounds. And then he butchered the whole unit and then got into the flank of Orion. But could easily have died twice to the Thirster. But I'm just like... But other than that, it was just a Demon Prince going around summoning off the little unit of cavalry.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot for the cannons to do that game because I could only really see 1 or 2 horsemen now and again. So.
We didn't have any large targets, did he?
No, I think I got 1 shot where I got down 1 cannon down the flank of Glade Riders and killed 4, I think it was.
Mm.
But yeah, other than Orion and the guy on a stag was with the other side of a hill in a forest, there was nothing for them to shoot. Yeah, so they didn't really do much. But yeah, that was a big 6-0 win.
Yeah. Demons living life large. 9 points after 2 games.
And how did you do at the big end of the table?
So I was playing Jack, as in Jack Ward Mop, and his dwarf exhibition force. To be honest, didn't go as well as it probably should have, because I got my big blob onto the hill and just sat on the hill, to be honest. And then what I did do is I took my dragons off to go kill other stuff. And I did kill like most of his other characters and some of his units, but really what I should have done is just sat me kings back and not got aggressive to just defend the blob. But again, that's like such a boring way to play the game. It's the right way to play the game in a real competitive environment, to be fair, and I would have done that and probably just won by like 1,200 points. What would it have been?
1,200 points for the hill.
Yeah, if I'd have done that, it would have been a 1,200 point victory. But I didn't. I let the dragons sod off and do other stuff. And actually, what it meant was Jack flew with all these gyrocopters in, surrounded me blob, and eventually killed them all in back end of turn 6.
Jesus.
In combat, like you just kept flying. You hit and runs, so he flew in, did impact hits, won combat enough that he could fall back in good order, far enough to fly back in and do more impact hits every turn. And just left one unit in holding the combat. And we also forgot about breakpoint, and I definitely did. Otherwise, I would have definitely left me dragons at the back defending me blobs, because they're quite immune to shooting, really, and easy enough to get wounds back to a point. But errors were made in that regard. I won, but this was the start of 3 incredibly close games for me. So I won 4-2. But only by 15 points.
6 archers.
Not even that. Not even 5. Sorry, 3. It's 3. The difference is 3 more archers, and it would have been. If you killed 3 more archers, it would have been a 3-3. But if I'd have played, if can't play would have hammer, should have just sat there and taken the 5-1 on the objectives. But that would have just been really boring. But good game. First time I've actually played MOP in an event on anything other than just sort of like Warhol on Team England practice. So that was good. And I hadn't played Damien in game 1 either. So 2 rounds, 2 people I'd not actually played games with before. So that was really fun. And they put us on 2 wins out of 2, which was solid for sort of going through day 1. And then that took us into game 3, which was chance encounters with the quarter deployment with the strategic location. Sorry,
I love this map. I still think it's my favourite.
Strategic location.
Special feature in the middle, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. I think this map's just a fun setup map.
It just reminds me of TNT every time I play it.
You can't play this map and not think of TNT, really.
Which is always a good game.
It's a great little map.
It is a fun map. It's different. It's really different. So with that, who were you against in game 3, Stan? How did you get on?
I was against Jake and his Beastman, and
Jake currently Britain's number 1 Beastman player currently.
Yeah, that Jake. And we're both set up very, very aggressively, which probably a mistake on my side. But Jake went first, and on my MR2 Stegodon got off File Tide, Wind Blast, and Plague of Rust.
Good times.
Stegodon wasn't there at the end of turn 1.
No, I bet he wasn't. That was your character Stegodon, yeah?
Yeah, all 3 spells with MR2 and dispels.
Wow.
And then all I'll say from that point is it quickly unravelled.
Ouch.
Just put paid to your submarine in.
Oh, yeah. I was a certain submarine that we can't mention for legal reasons.
But he had a PlayStation controller.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
My submarine blew up quite spectacular.
But no one heard it pop.
Was it all downhill from there then, Stan?
Oh, it was ridiculously downhill from that point. Again, a great game, but if I'd gone first, he had his caster in a unit of 10 go. If I'd got my magic missiles,
you could have blown it out of the water in game 1 as well.
Yeah, but I just couldn't believe it. All 3 offensive spells went off against MR2 and Dispel.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough.
But them were dice, so at this point I was just pleased to get outside.
I assume it finished. Did it finish 6-0?
6-0.
When your game starts like that, like you're on for a.
Yeah, he had magical dominance, and he just obviously a very competent Beastman player.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of filth,
Andy, what did you do to someone?
It's not my fault. Nick will agree. If I played Nick Boucher, who will agree he massively misdeployed. Bear in mind, he took a non-list. At the very front, he put his big block of state troops with the Outriders right in front of him, right on the edge of the deployment zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then other stuff at the back. And I was like, that's interesting, Nick. So I deployed, obviously, everything at the front. I got first turn. Flew the Bloodletters with Steed of Shadows right in front of that block, and the Bloodthirster right in front of that block. Then my cannons chipped off a couple of things, nothing of note. I think I summoned off a couple of Outriders, but nothing big. And then his turn 1, he did a few bits to shoot, but couldn't really do much. And then my turn 2, I destroyed the Outriders, got into the block, butchered them, and just... Then it was me caster behind a special objective, just shooting, summoning, and the cannon shooting stuff off. I think it was turn 3 it ended, I think.
Wow.
Turn 2 or 3 it ended. With obviously when I broke all that because it was breakpoint to have the Outriders to block with his characters in. I think my turn 2 or 3 is when I got a cannonball down the flank of an Outrider block, killed them, which overbounced into the next one. Then killed the general, one of the wizards, and it was just like, well, that's the game then. Wow. I think Nick's turn, to be fair, he borrowed my artillery dice to shoot his artillery.
Did he misfire?
And he got 3 misfires in a row. So it was like, misfire. I've got an engineer. Misfire. Can't shoot this turn. Next one, misfire. Can't shoot 2 turns. So I was like, this is going well, Nick. So he did
his reverse toilet dice.
I think the main thing was, even Nick still now, I don't know why he deployed so aggressively against the combat armor.
Yeah.
He just allowed him to get into combat.
I think the issue with Nick's army as well is it's really static.
Yeah.
Like it's built a full, like there's sort of flex around that big block, and like the big block's not big enough to stay static and do well.
No. I don't think if it had been sat back a bit more, it'd have got another full round of shooting before I started getting into stuff. Would have made it more interesting, I think, and he could have got the Bloodthirster off. But
no.
That ended up with a big 6-0 win.
Filth.
The filth that is the demons.
Filthy demons. So my game 3 was against Mr. Pash from the one and only Pash Hammer. First time we've actually played an event. Good game against these Brett Xers. Again, I tempted him with a charge turn 1, which he refused because he's a coward. Remains the theme of how the rest of this pans out. Essentially, Pash flew around trying to use tactics instead of just manning up and having a fight. And that's what ultimately won him the game. It's going crazy.
And to be fair, your game with Pash, I don't know how the Green... Every time I came over, the Green Knight and your Dragon...
We're not going to talk about
every time.
Very upsetting. But no, so what I should have done is just play more conservatively and shot at him and chipped off and just let me dragons absorb damage because the cannons aren't going to be able to the amount if they can. I'll get wounds back fairly easily on the one that can. But I went for a solo big charge with my king into his Peg Knight block and challenged his Baron. if dice had been anything other than absolutely garbage, I would have killed his general, and then the game could have probably been very different. As it stands, we had an absolute whiff fest. I don't think we did any wounds to each other at all. Bear in mind, at this point, his Baron doesn't even have a ward save, and I had my King's 4 attacks with strength 6, my Dragon's 5 attacks with strength 6, and stomps, and did no wounds. And after that, he then just flew past me, got into the back quarter of the lines, and then into the blob afterwards. The Green Knight came out charging to me King, and as Andy alluded to, that then just led to the most preposterous 4 turns in the history of Warhammer. Whereas me King with 4 attacks and a magic weapon, strength 6, couldn't kill the Green Knight over 4 turns, which is 8 rounds of combat.
I assumed you'd killed him. He'd come back to life and gone in again.
No, it's only not been the case. Like, I'm hitting him on 4s, wounding him on 2s, and he's saving on 4s. Or 5s with a 5-up ward. And I swear to God, that was the most frustrating thing that's ever happened. But in keeping with what I said after me game 2 against Mop, and I gained a 4-2 by 15 points. In this game, Pash won 4-2 by 19 points. So I was 4 skeletons off a 3-3 in Stan's terminology. Really good game. Like, Pash is a pleasure to play. It was very tactical. And it was actually the end of a long, hot day as well, to be fair. At this point, though, I did discover you could order drinks to your table using a QR code.
Yeah, I did it once.
Weekend. Unfortunately, it happened in game 3. But it meant Fashion I could order some drinks to the table, which was lovely. Close game. Pash got including VP, including the objective. I think he took 7-2-9 off me, and I took 4-10 off him. So 3-19 difference, which was, like I said, 19 points in. Technically 18 points into a 4-2. Close game. Should have played it more cautiously. Didn't. And then once that early risk didn't pay off, it was a bit downward there because of the bloody inability to kill a Green Knight, frankly. So my hatred for the Green Knight continues unabated. Pash, bad man. Bad Scottish man. Which then took us into game 4. So end of day 1, I think we chatted about this. This first time at the end of event, the end of day 1, we were all absolutely ruined, weren't we? We were just knackered.
I think between the journey down and how hot it had been.
Journey down, crazily warm, and then.
Because the night before, all we've done is gone for a burger with Pash, and then 2 drinks at a pub, and that was it.
That was it. It wasn't like it was a heavy night by any stretch. No. So we decided to go back to the digs, get a pizza / kebab for Stan, and have it a relatively early-ish night. Safe to say, afterwards, Andy thought he was dying, and we all slept like crap. And on that, we then went into day 2 and game 4, which was strategic locations 3 and domination.
Domination.
I like this combination, to be honest.
I do.
So I do, just not in this game.
Well, how did your game 4 go, Stan?
Well, I had Adam and his Brett's. And I've got to say, this was the most ridiculous game I've had in a long time on both sides. Highlights of it include his peg block and general going into 2 Bastiladons and a steg. The peg knights, the BSB dying, and a steg dying.
They charged?
Yeah. And got punked.
Wow.
Then his general went into my character Stegadon. 5 attacks, hit with 1. Adam got his pre-bleat in, and then rolled the 6 to wound. Because I filled the ward. Green Knight took a laser beam to the face, died straight away.
Nice.
Then he came back, charged a unit of Saurus, died on static.
Excellent. He deserves that.
So yeah, it was a game.
You killed the Green Knight twice, and my king spent an entire game unable to kill the Green Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, with my really crap army, I killed him twice. It was an absolute mental game, and finished 6-0 to me, but it didn't feel like it.
I think that's a bit of a. I know we'll come on to the scoring, but that seems a bit of a takeaway in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good game, and it was like say we both had dice that went from ridiculous to sublime.
At least it's always more fun when you both have outrageous dice in both directions.
Yeah, like I had 30 skinks killing a unit of Knights of the Realm and his damsel.
Get in.
Yeah, there was just lots of stupid shit happening all game.
Considering you lost your general, they still then get a 6-0 is quite something as well, actually.
No, I lost the Carno was the general.
Oh, sorry, I thought that's what was it your Steg that he killed? He
Yeah.
killed, sorry. Sorry. Fair enough. So and I finished 6-0 to you. Strong start to day 2.
What about you, Andy?
Andy, you suggested you didn't enjoy this game.
I enjoyed the game, just not the amount of points I gave away. So I played Pash's Brett's, which has got a lot of scoring units in it.
Yes, it does.
I have 2 that start on the board, and I can't really sit on objectives. I need to move. So I think.
Oh, that's right. You gave Pash. Oh, not to spoil.
I gave Pash a lot. I gave Pash, including objectives. Where is it? 3,604 points, including objectives.
Wow.
Yeah. He had all 4 quarters by the end of the game. He'd got 600.
You give Pash a third of all of his victory points in that one game.
Yeah.
I hope he gave you a hug afterwards.
I think turn 1 kind of set the tone. Shot a cannonball through his pegs, hit 2 pegs and 2 archers. Wounded, killed 2 archers, double 1 to wound the pegs.
Strong.
I think turn 2, shot the same unit. He found his lookout sir on the BSB. Only did 1 wound.
Oh.
And I was just like, it's getting one of them games, isn't it, Pash? I think I danced around with me stuff to get into his back lines, but just couldn't catch enough stuff. I think turn 2, my hounds had come on. Turn 3, I charged his bombard, who was 4 inches away from. He fled double 6. And I'm just like, so I then redirected and chased some archers and then got
his bombard is the fastest bombard in the world. It fled from me as well.
Well, that bombard also rallied on turn. His turn 3. His turn 4, it then shot and killed the Bloodthirster.
The one that ran away?
Yeah. But we did work out because Pash didn't think he'd kill it. So put his peg knights, I think 11 inches away from the Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
And was fully accepting just to take the charge off the Bloodthirster and deal with him with his lord. That was Pash's plan. And I was like,
that lord was never going to deal with the Bloodthirster.
No. So then he killed everything else and then he shot his cannonball, last thing of the game almost. Killed the Bloodthirst, and that was kind of my last model to lose as such. And then we're just like, should we work out the combat? If you win, I was like, he'd win. He's like, do you think? I was like, yes, Pash. And I think I did 6 hits, 6 wounds. I think I did like 8 wounds to his lord, and he's like, yeah, that wouldn't have gone well. And we worked out, had that cannonball not killed the lord, it would have been about 2,000 something point swing back.
Oh.
So it would have been maybe a 4-2 rather than a 6-0. Or because that cannonball hit and wounded the Felby ward. But I don't know why Pash thought his knights could hold a Bloodthirst. I'm just like,
there's not a lot
on the impact.
To be fair, there's not a lot that deals with the Bloodthirst in combat, to be fair.
No, I think to be fair, Pash, none of my cannons could wound his peg knights there. And all in all, I think I must have failed 4 wounds on him with cannons.
Oh,
and the highlight was the Demon Prince there with demonic familiars that does nothing. did 3 wounds to his lord. He failed 2 of them. And the Demon Prince left him on 1 wound because he passed 3 ward saves. Or the Demon Prince would have killed his lord.
Oh.
But there was a lot of really close stuff. Really, really good, really tactical game, but just couldn't get the wounds in and just couldn't catch anything. The Green Knight was just dancing around. He didn't want to send him into the full unit of bloodletters just for the static.
Right, just die.
So he danced around.
As well.
Danced around until then the archers and some other stuff had done enough damage that he could then go in with the Green Knight into the bloodletters. But really, really good game. But I think I got literally, how many points did I get? It was abysmal. I think I got 350 points.
Nice.
Strong.
Yeah, I just couldn't catch him.
Aye, that was nasty.
Good game though, really good game with Pash. And still 6-0, but it was still 2 moments with ward saves.
Yeah, if you had to roll if you had to roll the 5 up on that ward, or you'd caught the bombard on the flea, different story. Yeah.
But
such a life in it, like such.
As long as it's a good game, I don't mind if I don't take demons to win the events. As long as it's a good game, I don't mind.
Well, you'd always rather lose 5 good games than win 5 shit games, wouldn't you?
Well, I would, you wouldn't, but you know.
Whoa! that is not true, and that is hurtful to my good self.
Some of us take lists where we don't have that choice.
Scott refuses to take a fluffy list. His version of fluffy is still filth.
You guys.
One day we'll get Scott to take a fluffy list.
You guys are just really mean to me.
We'll write a list for you at some day, Scott. Don't worry.
Well, I had in my game 4. I'm just going to start ignoring, you know.
You've been mean to another person.
I played Toll, the greater Toll, Mr. Steve Toll, the one and only,
the original,
the OG Toll.
He was hanging a bit.
Warriors of Chaos player. And we had an absolute belter of a game, to be honest. We played the game, quote unquote, properly for about 3 turns.
Until Scott was winning, and then he remembered the rules.
No. We were sort of like dancing around each other a little bit, like plinking off, like avoiding combat here, plinking stuff off there. My dragon's avoiding his. Neither one wanted to get double charge off either dragon. So he had 2 dragons, I had 2 dragons, and neither one of us wanted 2 dragons into 1 dragon. And after like turn 3, when it was kind of just pittering away, we decided, should we effectively have 2 different dragon offs? So we took one dragon, his exalted hero, into my reserve king, and my actual king into his lord. And just had a good time having a dragon off. Eventually, so dice were really hit and miss on both sides. My main king got his lord down to 1 wound, I think it was at the end. 2 wounds. He was winning the grind, which I wasn't certain he would. On the other side, eventually, 3 wounds I might have gone down to, actually, but it was just very slow going. The exalted hero with his triple save versus the other king that heals himself, eventually the dragon killed the king. And he was then left on 1 wound he was down to. And then the glorious archers of the 2 kings shot him off with their strength 3 bows and killed him.
How dragons should die.
It was hilarious. Like, to be fair, at the end of the game, summarising how the last 2 went, about how close these games were, games 2, 3, and 4, it finished with a variance of 294 in my favour, but that's still a 3-3. So I went 15 points into a 4-2, 19 points into a 2-4, and then I was 6 points away from a 4-2 into a 3-3. So 3 really close games on sort of 2, 3, and 4. It was an absolute blast to play Steve. To be honest, again, we'd never played at an event, so we had a really good fun game, to be honest. And at that point, we kind of knew at that point, or thought we did, that once we'd drawn, it was probable that would stop either of us getting onto a podium because we were on table. So we were on table 6, I think, at this point.
Yeah, he was 6 or 7.
Table 6, I'm sure it was. Let me check.
Yeah, it would have been. I was 3, and there was 2 in between me and you. Because 7 was in the corner, and you weren't in the corner.
And we drew, which effectively then put us, we thought, certainly both thought, essentially out of the competition to get a podium at that point. But it was a bloody good, fun game. And actually, we could have just parked everything else, just had Dragon off, so it would have been a laugh. It was fun. And then that took us then on to the final game of the weekend. From a placing standpoint, like none of us really had anything to play for. Fair to say.
No,
Pride,
just honour.
Like Andy had some sort of pride to pay for after he let Pash have his dirty, wicked way with him.
I think my only thing to play for was not to lose, so I ended up with more. I didn't want more losses than wins.
Aye. So game 5 was strategic location 4 and encirclement, which I like this map setup, to be honest with the offset deployment. It made for an interesting. I think it makes for an interesting game. I like strategic locations 4. Like each cardinal point, I think is good. Is a good bit of play. So with that in mind, how did your game 5 go, Stan?
Well, I had Harrison and my second Bretts of the day.
You love a game against Bretts, don't you?
No, I don't. I hate a game against Bretts, but it was Exiles, which made it even worse.
You'd rather play them than BT or Cathay, let's face it.
So the highlight of it was his Pegasus ran away from my Carnosaur. My Carnosaur then went maximum distance, which was just enough to hit his yeoman block, a big 40-man yeoman block. I could have, because it was an overrun, I could have stopped an inch away from him, but then he would have just charged me. So I thought, bollocks, in theme, dinosaur keeps going.
Dinosaur, go!
Yeah, and you can imagine how a 40-man block and a Carnosaur went.
I can't imagine that went particularly well for the Carnosaur, to be honest. And stuff.
I'd imagine it didn't go well for a champion either.
No.
It didn't go well for a champion, and it certainly didn't go well for the Carnosaur. And after that, you ran down the Carnosaur, his cannons started taking off Basilodons left, right, and centre, and yeah. It was wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Nice. And how? So I mean, I don't want to ask, but how did game 5 finish?
5-1.
5-1.
5-1.
Respectable 1 point in there.
Yeah, I got that 1 point for glory.
That's what it's all about. What was that? Sorry, Andy.
1 point makes all the difference.
It does. It does. It very much does.
After 5 games, I think Lizardmen are lacking in so many departments.
Yeah, I don't disagree, to be honest.
I still think they're better than Skaven, but that's about it.
You know, even when you look at the Scarvet or the Old Blood, he's got the same stats as an Empire character.
No, he doesn't.
He's got toughness 5, hasn't
Well,
he?
he's
got
the same
than toughness. He's got more attacks,
but he's got the same weapon skill, so he can't hit.
He's got
lower leadership.
Yeah, but there's no way Empire should have got a leadership booster. That was just ridiculous.
That was wild. That was. They thought, we've already done wild things with Cathay, and it's like an Empire leadership boost for a laugh.
Poor man's Cathay.
You know, Stegodon's only having 5 wounds.
You didn't enjoy them at all, really, did you?
I enjoyed them, but they're just not.
But then they're going
for
back
fun games at home. They're not for a competitive event.
Yeah, I wouldn't take them to another tournament.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think that's fair.
But how about you, Andy? How did your legacy?
So I played Gary Dutton's Dwarfs.
Yeah,
Met Gary Lloyd. Never played him before. Lovely guy. I think I got first turn, shot a cannon off straight away, and I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a good game." I think I just danced around him. He couldn't really get many points off me, really. I think we played out to a draw by maybe 50 points away from a win. And Gary didn't realise that impact hits could now be allocated. So when I flew into his Iron Drakes, I was like, well, I'll impact your champion. He hadn't realised that was done. So
that's
I could
times for Gary there, was it?
do that and then kill the unit. So I think I'd killed everything apart from his 2 big blocks because I just didn't want to go into them. So the Burster had killed all the little units, was chasing some gyrocopters. The Bloodletters and the Demon Prince were just dancing away from them or summoning little bits off.
Yeah.
But yeah, ended up narrow win, evenish. I think I'm the objectives.
Finishes a technical 3-3 draw, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means I played 5 games against 5 different people, 5 different armies, with 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Which I was quite happy with, to be fair.
Pretty much what you wanted from the weekend with your demons, to be fair, wasn't it?
And I didn't have to play VC or Cathay.
Aye.
Which is always a pleasure.
It was at this event. For the amount of VC there was floating around.
And none of them had nice VC.
Oh, no, some of them did. Some of them were nice VC.
Pips was probably the nicest.
No, there was
He had a Bloodlight unit, which is always good.
Yeah, there was another one as well. I'd have to double check. But yeah, Pips was also beautiful.
Yeah, and Pip got my vote for best painting because it's a stunning army.
He got my reserve vote if I was allowed to give one. It was the guy that won it, and I don't have a photo of his army to put on here, I'm afraid. But
my reserve vote, you mean a made-up vote that didn't count for anything?
Yeah, but I still put it down there and let him know that I like his army.
So how was your game 5? Who did you pick on?
My game, I played against Mark and his Beastmen, and we met Mark and his 2 sons over the weekend.
Yeah, really good lads, to be fair.
What
really
a genuinely lovely bunch of guys.
I mean, to be fair, I think his one son's a bit. I mean, he's played Skaven for 8 months. It's got to be
hero.
I think he bought more Skaven at Element Games as well.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah,
but no, like Mark,
he's trying to encourage him to play Cathay, but
he tried to encourage him to play Cathay. He was like, no, Skaven for me, Dad. But no, Mark was playing Beastmen, 5 Vile Tides.
Stunning army as well, to be fair.
Beautiful army, to be honest.
Unless you look closely, you wouldn't necessarily notice.
No,
there's lots of browns, but it just
he's he didn't use it because we weren't playing baggage train, but his model he's done for a baggage train.
Beautiful.
I also have the chariot or something when I saw it.
No, he's done it. It was amazing. Like if they were in use, they were giving out an award for nicest baggage train. Like that would take some beating. I thought it was amazing. Lovely bit of conversion, really lovely painted, but the whole army was lovely. I am a sucker for a well painted Beastman army, though.
Yeah, you are.
I quite like a dark, well painted Beastman army. And this was really nice, like, properly into the browns. Next time we must ensure that we get a set of photos for each army that we play. So there's a lesson learned for us. But no, really lovely army, really lovely guy. Unfortunately, I just did bad things to him.
It's the first time your Kings rolled well for a long time, to be fair.
It bloody is the first time your Kings rolled well for a long time. I lost 200 points of something.
Jesus.
Can't remember what it was.
Your block dropping below 25%?
Nah. No, the block, it was close, but the block was saved by the king, wasn't it? Like, the block went into one thing.
Dragon Ogres your king was fighting?
I killed something, overran to Dragon Ogres. The block charged the flank of Dragon Ogres. King charged in and killed a chariot, overran to the Dragon Ogres. Only killed one Dragon Ogre, and then they fleed through his whole army, essentially, and then just stayed at the back end to get killed off my other king later in the game. The block then just kept overrunning into stuff. It was the fastest block in the world. Like, the 80-man block got across the board and killed multiple things on its way in combat. Until it eventually hit his blob with all his characters in, which at least stopped them casting for the most part. But after my other king, my reserve king, had been vile-tided about 7 times, possibly. He was left alive on 1 wound, and I just flew him away and hit him in a corner.
Yeah, she doesn't do well to vile tie. It's not like your other king.
No, that one doesn't. But then the blob got stuck in a grind with his wild herd, which was just slowly getting killed. But by that point, the main king had killed like the dragon ogres, the wizard on a chariot, the chariot, and got into the rear of that combat. And then the king did 15 wounds in one turn. I was like, where were these dice when I was fighting the Green Knight, you knobhead? But it was an absolute massacre, to be honest. And I think I won by, let's have a check, 3,030 points.
So not quite Andy level, but
yeah. So I had a pretty big win game 1, a really big win game 5, and then 3 really close games 2, 3, and 4. But I think I finished then 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss for the weekend.
So go through your list then. Who was your MVP for the weekend? Stan? Is the one? Is it a skink called Dave?
MVP, whichever Basildon on vaporized Green Knight.
Yeah, but nothing consistently good.
No, nothing.
My MVP, other than Game 3 against Pash, when it was nothing but a bitter disappointment, the rest of the time MVP was the unkillable, the never dying king. He never died, always conserved his points, and with the exception of that game against Pash, did well. He would be my MVP. What about yours?
Probably the Demon Prince.
Yeah.
And he allowed Bloodletters to move his steed every game. 24-inch move on a combat block is amazing. The ability to summon and get rid of all the little chaffy units, and then the -1 to cast in his bubble range combined with the Corn MR. It meant magic wasn't really affecting me much, and he was able to chip off a lot and make. Without the movement on the Bloodletters, the army doesn't work as well. They're too slow. But with him being able to move a unit 20 odd inches up a board, it suddenly makes that unit much more aggressive. And you're only going to get 1 real round of shooting at them rather than 2 or 3. So I don't think I had a bad game with him. Really did.
The DP never lets you down, really, does he?
No, he didn't do a lot against the Beastman, but there wasn't much in range other than a big block. But I think he'd whittled down and killed an entire block on his own, just with summoning.
Yeah.
But he did something every game. Without him, I don't think the list works.
Aye, no, that's probably fair. I think you need that contrast to your rest of your army and to facilitate the rest of the army. So, with that in mind, how did the event finish then, gentlemen? Well, it was won by the one and only Pash Hammer.
You're welcome, Pash. I feel like I helped that somewhat.
I think you helped that considerably.
I feel like I should definitely get an assist.
I think you probably should get an MVP award from Pash.
I mean, if you look at his VPs he got from games, just over 10,000. That's effectively killing almost every army.
Yeah, but a third of it was just on your army.
Because that doesn't include because your objective points is the 3-4 one, isn't it, for him?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of kills, to be fair, every single game. Do you think he didn't get a lot off you, did he, Scott, really?
No, we didn't get that many kills off each other.
I mean, his other games must have all been big scores. His 3 wins must have been big wins. That's a lot of VPs.
I like VPs as the tiebreaker, though, to be honest. So
this is where we're coming back to 1 point makes a big difference.
I was going to say, I think this is the perfect time for us to have to rehash the conversation we had in the car so that everybody else knows our thoughts on the way back up. So if you look at the score in there, there's only 1 point difference from 1st to 8th, and there's only 2 points different from 9th to 1st, which I think in a 38-man event is a bit nonsense.
Yeah, you should not be in 12th positioning in a big win that can win the event.
No,
No. I worked out my 5 games. I've got 2 6-0s. Only one of them was a traditional 6-0 win of over 2,000 BPs.
Yeah, I think what the idea of the 6-0 compacting the scoring is a good thing, but I think it's overdone it.
Yeah.
I
even made it a 10-0 system would have probably been the medium.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like you said, the fact that all the top three, so well done to Pash, Keith, and Mark, all on the same points. I think it's a bit of a nonsense after 2 days of gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should not. It should never be that close.
The fact you had to go into VPs to decide the first, second, third is crazy.
Yeah, really, Keith had the best record as well.
Well, he had a loss.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, it's a win.
Win-loss draw.
It's win-loss draw.
Sorry, I was reading that. Thought it was he had a draw.
Pash didn't lose a game.
No, he scored the most VPs. He scored the most out of the top 3 on objectives. He deserved the win. And then we're going to complain about that. It's just
God!
It should not be a 20-0 system would have made it probably a similar outlay in a way.
We haven't had an opportunity. It would have been nice to convert the score variances into 6-0s.
Yeah.
But that's more admin than we've had time for this week, sadly.
That's a lot of admin, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly that. So, very interesting. I think the top 3 deserve their top 3 place, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to sneak in there into 4th, which was pleasant.
Had you tried harder against Steve, look what could have happened.
If I'd not fucked... Well, those 3 games were so close, they could have went either way, though, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? But I think we definitely came away from it and talking with pretty much most of the people at the event, not that keen on the 6-0 scoring.
No.
One thing, and I've left it downstairs, so I can't show it to the camera, but I'll post a picture of something on Facebook. Andy and I did get joint best sportsman.
And as a sportsman, I rolled lower than Scott on purpose.
So we had a roll off.
It's always good. I mean,
was it a 5 and a 6 we rolled as well, actually? Do we roll a 5 and a 6 for it as well?
Yeah.
With somebody else's dice, so it wasn't, which was always.
I want to say it might have been Pip's dice. I can't remember now.
I can't remember, but yeah, so that was really nice. So we do. I know we talk a lot about playing the game in the right way, and it's nice that was sort of seen.
Yeah.
So it was nice to come away with sort of. It's always nice to get some best sportsman votes, to be fair. And that was a nice way to finish the event. It's very interesting where the standings are. For those who want to have a play around on New Recruit, you can export this data and drill it down differently. I think what's interesting is if it hadn't been 20-0 and it had been, say, the old Sheffield Slaughter style where it was just on VPs, top 2 wouldn't have changed.
Which is nice.
I would have snuck in there and stolen it off Mark. That said, if it had been a good old win-loss draw, the winner would have been Kevin, who finished in 5th with TK, because he was the only person to win 4 games. Smaller wins, naturally, obviously, which is why it sits on there. But still, if it was a win-loss draw, he'd have won 4 games and taken the event. Some interesting stats. If I just go into this is something that's quite interesting on New Recruit that it can produce. So that's the breakdown of all of the different factions and how they performed. What would be nice if it had a variance from top to bottom in amongst there as well. You can see that on the stats page. But so, for example, Vamps finished with an average score per game of 3.7. But in amongst that, you had people who finished, the 2 armies that finished 2nd and 3rd, versus armies that finished, a couple of Vamps that finished a lot lower down.
It's like Warrior Cows looks quite low, but then you look at Steve and stuff like that would have finished higher.
So yeah, the Warriors really low average score for the event, and I definitely think they're struggling a bit in 1.5.
Yeah, but I think that is... It's not a good sample size because I think
it's also skewed because there's a few people playing like their first armies with them. So you can get data to prove whatever you want it to in reality.
No, this data just proves Tomb King, Royal Host are broken, and anyone that uses them is a horrible person.
It also says Lizardmen are better than warriors. And they're also better than mortuary cults, Dan, apparently. So what are you doing?
Yeah, there's data for you.
Filthy Lizardmen.
I mean, again, it's all about when you talk about sample sizes as well. So, like that, obviously, the Royal Host information, like that's just my stats.
Yeah.
The Tomb King stats, that's just Kevin's stats because there's only one army of each there. So, if one person's playing an army and gets it as well with it, it's all going to skew the stats. So,
Yeah,
I know
same with Cathay.
You get a lot of new players at events. The scores
yeah,
never
exactly. I think the ones that are more reflective overall are probably Brett's and Vamps because there was enough of them to get some actual data.
There's quite a few Beastmen armies, to be fair.
Yeah, there was
4 or 5 Beastmen.
Yeah, actually, you're right. So they'd probably be up there.
There'd probably only be the 3 really that you could get an accurate representation from.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other ones, you look at like Demons, Lizardmen, you quite often only find one at an event. I mean, there was 2 Demons this weekend, but normally you'd only find one of each of them, so it's hard to get a true scale.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Eurocrit is quite nice that it produces some of this data though for you.
Yeah.
I think BCP is overall a better system for running an event on, personally.
Yeah, I think. There was the issue we had this weekend, wasn't it, where the results on your phone or your draw wasn't matching the TV, which was just bizarre.
The pairings matched, but they were on different tables, which was
I don't think even Dave was just like, I don't know why it's doing that. It's different on my laptop and my phone.
Hats off to Eurocrit for a free-to-use tool to run an event. Phenomenal.
It is really good for what you get.
Like, considering it's free to use, I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I love the fact that it's got some data in it for pulling straight out without having to do much work. Because obviously, after our event, we will do a lot of data dumps for part of the review. But it's quite nice that you can get some top line information straight out in your recruit. That's pretty cool. I like it. But yeah, no, congratulations to Pash, Keith, and Mark for 1, 2, 3, and congrats to David for a really, really well run event.
Yeah, I mean, he had the 2 of the judges, but I don't think they were needed. The only queries we had.
Can I also just say the pack and the scoring pages that he produced? Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. The scoring pages he produced
was really helpful,
which is kindly going to send on to me so I can amend it a little bit for our event. Was ace. I love the event pack.
The event pack was brilliant.
Being provided with the maps, with the scoring in, really, really nicely done, and just kind of goes that little bit further as well to show what a really nice and well-run event it was.
There was no issues over like timings, games overlapping. Well, then they let a couple of games at lunchtime overrun, but it doesn't make a difference for that.
But I thought Dave did a really good job at being quite firm with his timings overall.
Yeah, and I think the 2 of the judges were never used. I don't think. Not that I ever saw.
I think that's had a couple of rule queries, but otherwise,
I think everyone does. I mean, if you look at the old events in 8th, we played that for 10 years and we still had Wolves queries.
Yeah, there's always
you're always going to get them.
But overall, it was a really well-run event, and I will definitely be back to any Toy Soldier event that I can attend, work allowing, and I would recommend anybody else to attend it if they can as well.
Yeah, I think if you live local, it's a really good venue. And is it £150 for a yearly subscription?
Outrageously good venue.
You'd definitely be doing that if you lived anywhere near it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing value for what you get.
Yeah, phenomenal venue. Any closing thoughts that we haven't touched on from this one for you, Stan?
No, it's all good on my side.
And anything that I've absolutely missed off?
Sam's still the nicest toll. It's fine. He didn't win.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Well, Sam did say there's no point being the nice toll because I never win anything being the nice toll.
That's true. But he has the moral wins, though. He has the moral wins.
Well, I think he's trying to get his VC to try and keep his points up for the Masters, I think.
Yeah.
He's gone back to his VC. Which is
so this should be live or out rather on Sunday morning, the 31st. So enjoy. Sorry, it's out there than it should have been. Our next recording or whatever, we are going live on Friday night, which is...
Yep.
If I had a calendar in front of us that was more reliable, I'd be able to tell you what date it was. Fifth. So Friday the 5th, if anyone wants to join us for a live Warhammer chat, that'll be lovely.
We've actually got quite a lot.
We've got a lot to chat through. We want to talk about some changes we're making the Forgotten North event. We've got a lot to chat through, to be fair, haven't we?
We're going to announce the dates for next year's events and when they're going to go on sale. Dates for Forgotten North 4 and 5. Dates for sale. Our current comp adjustments that we've decided for Forgotten North 3. Cut-offs for the add-ons, etc. And then just generally a bit of Warhammer nerd chat as well.
Yeah, everyone loves a bit of Nerdhammer.
Aye. So it'd be great if anyone who is watching this can join us for the live show on Friday. Live at 7:30 p.m?
About 8 o'clock.
About 8 p.m. we'll be going live. So you can join us for an hour or two. That'd be wonderful. And until then, I think we'll just say thank you very much for watching us or listening to us. And we'll hopefully see you again on our next one.
See you later.
See you later all.